My answer to that would be, it doesn't matter. Because, you know, I think if you believe as I do, that really understanding context and making sure that any venture, no matter what its mission or who its beneficiaries are, is well designed to go into its context. I don't think there's any what you might call for-profit business that can afford to be anti-social. And I don't think there's any social entrepreneurial business that can afford to be anti-commercial, in a sense. Otherwise it wouldn't be a business and it wouldn't exist. So we have this continuum. And I think one of the virtues of the parable of the Teepee case with respect to social entrepreneurship, it really gets you thinking about how meaningful the category is and where the boundaries between social entrepreneurship and for-profit entrepreneurship might exist. Because in one sense, this is clearly a case of for-profit entrepreneurship. The red entrepreneur owns the venture, it's his venture. It's not started by a council or anything like that, and he's entitled under the laws of the land he lives in, which happens to be America, that he can keep all the profits if he wants to. And, you know, he's there to make a profit for himself and those involved in the venture. So that's mainstream, isn't it? On the other hand, you know, when he tries to run it that way, he gets a tremendously hostile response from people, etc. And eventually the business transmogrifies into what I would call, you know, quite a socially oriented venture, because some of the profits are pre-committed to go to the children. He's involving, and some of the costs involved are costs that involve people in the heritage, such as the royalties for the speech and the writing of the parchments that goes to the good speaker. So this is a mixed case. This is a case in which you really see elements of social direction and elements of personal profit all mixed in. And I think ultimately this is a really important area for social entrepreneurship to understand. If whatever the organisation is works well and does its job, people don't think of the Red Cross these days very much, or the you know, the Salvation Army is even a better example in Western countries. They don't think of it very much as a charity or giving it. They just know it's a really well-run organisation. It's there to do what it does. It does it well. It serves its purposes. It's got a high status in the community. The average person is more interested in the motives and achievements of an organisation than researchers are, than any labels that researchers give to it. So this is the answer to your question. The short answer is yes and no. Clearly the social elements in this case are there, and hopefully it's good for teaching them, because as the teaching note to the case that you've brought out brings in, we have to ask ourselves, how social is it really? Is it purely selfish motives that are driving the guy to concede these points? You know, the great joy is we don't have to answer that. We don't care. We've got a venture that serves both private profit and community benefit, and it works. I'll take the output better than I'll take the motive, you know.